everyone, it's Josh from EBC Brakes here, and today we've made the trip down to EFI, which is our friction factory based in Bristol. Today we're going to be taking a quick look into how our brake pads are made. So without further ado, let's go take a look. So we're here at EFI in the storage room at the minute. So this is where all of our backplates are stored before being sent out into production. The backplates are actually made in our Northampton facility in the presswork section and then delivered down here. They are then organised and sent out into production. The first of production is the washer plant. Let's go take a look. So as the backplates come out, they come to the first step, which is the washer plant here, which is basically just a washing machine for the backplates to get them cleaned. We have nothing going through here at the moment, but we're going to cut some footage of some backplates going through so you can have a look to see what happens. So here at EBC, we have two different kind of backplates. We have NRS and non-NRS. When the NRS backplates get here, they can sometimes be a bit greasy, so that's why they go through this washing machine to clear it out. The non-NRS ones can go into our shock blaster. The reason why the NRS pads can't go through the shock blaster is because the shock blaster could actually damage the NRS system on the backplates. So, what happens after the pads come through the washer plant is they come here. Basically, what happens here is the pads are sprayed with a black adhesive coating. This helps form the friction to the backing plate when heated up. Next, we'll be heading up to our mixing department where we will see the first steps of forming our friction compound. So we've already gone through the first few steps with our backplates. Now we'll be going into the mixing of our actual compound. As you can see behind me, we've got shelves and shelves worth of different materials that go into our blend to make the compound. It's all mixed up here in one of these machines behind us and sent down in a chute ready to be stuck down onto the backplate. We'll go downstairs now and have a quick look at what the finished product looks like before being put onto the backplates. So, as I mentioned upstairs, all the different materials are mixed. For each different compound we have, there is a very specific formula. Once the compounds are mixed, they're sent down in this chute and they end up here, where they'll then get taken through to the next section, which is the compound storage section, where they will wait to be placed on the correct backing plate. So we're now here at the compound storage section. This is where, like I said, they're all kept here before being put on the back plates. So if you prefer yellow stuff, like we have in this line here, or blue stuff, Ultimax, green stuff, red stuff, they're all kept here before being put through into the next section. So for most of our pads, once they've been mixed, they come down to here, which is the free forming section. This is where the material gets formed and pressed down onto the back plates. Depending on the different types of pads, they will be pressed down at completely different pressures. But however, for some of them, they don't get put straight onto the back plate. Let's go take a look. So, like I mentioned before, there are some material that can get pressed straight onto the backing plate. However, with some of our heavier automotive pads, we need to form the compound first, which we have here, which we call a puck, and then it is pressed onto the backing plate on a complete different machine. Let's go take a look at what this does. So, once the pucks are formed over there, they're brought over here to be pressed down onto the back plates. What happens is they're placed into the tooling, which we call die, and then placed into the press machine where they are pressed down onto the back plates. We have so many different types of dies for all the different pads we do. They're made by ourselves and stored here, ready for use, as you can see. So, once the material is pressed down onto the backing plate, it comes to here, which is the next step. Here we have yet another pressing machine. So what happens here is the pad goes through here and it's shaped. After it's been shaped, it goes through to our oven where it will be heated up to 150 degrees for 3 hours to remove any excess gases. So, once our pads come out of the oven, they come here to the finishing process. This machine here is called the Comex machine. We have two separate machines, one for our automotive pads and one for our motorcycle pads. What happens here is any excess material is taken off of the pad. We add any grooves if needed or chamfers if needed. What happens then is it comes out the other end and is checked by hand. So, once our motorcycle pads are quality checked by hand, they come over here, which is the final process for them. What happens is they get loaded into this machine here, they get powder coated and injected in the same process, and they come out as the finished product. So as we're passing by, I just thought we'd stop to talk about this. This here is a friction lining for the rail industry. And I just thought I'd stop to show you so you can have an idea of the huge range of products that we manufacture down here in Bristol. So, we've already talked about what happens at Comex 2. That's the machine for our motorcycle pads. This here is Comex 1, and this is for our automotive pads. The system here is very similar to the one for the motorcycle pads. What happens is all the edges are cleared, grooves are added and they're chamfered. After that, they go down the production line and they're then flipped. That's when they get painted and then dried, and then flipped once more. After that, they're ink jetted and the braking coating is then added. They go through to the end of the line. After that, they get sent upstairs to have any accessories added, and then they are boxed up and sent back to our Northampton headquarters, where they'll then be distributed worldwide. So finally, we have come down here to the R&D department at EFI. This is where we do all the research and development for our new braking compounds. We also test them here on one of our dyno machines, which you would have seen before. We have multiple different dyno machines to test different sort of brake pads. I'm standing right next to dyno number 3 at the moment. We also do a lot of testing against competitor brake pads to benchmark and ensure that we are always on top. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and let us know what you want to see next.